So here we have a pre-owned 2007 Mercedes-Benz E550. Now this one is a rear-wheel drive model. Comes in the standard black, and then we have beige leather interior. For the powertrain, we get that 5.5 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine, made it to a 7-speed automatic transmission, and that gives us 382 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. And this particular car just has a little under 70,000 miles. But as we come to the front end here, let me just say right off the bat, I've looked around the inside and outside a little bit, and this one is in pretty spectacular condition. Just have a little road rash on the front there over the years. But wait until you see this interior, it's immaculate. Then over to these wheels here, these are gonna be 18-inch aluminum. I think only one of those is like slightly curved, so you can even tell. Now to the door panel here, love the trim, love that leather there. Memory seat functions for up to 3 different settings, and we can adjust the power seat bottom, seat back, and headrest there. And the power mirror controls, pick a side, then you can adjust using that dial. And then one-touch automatic up and down windows on all 4 doors. Rear window lock there. You can pop that boot there. Harman Kardon sound system. Headlamp controls, and we do have the headlight washers. Now I just tested those out, those still work. So we can adjust that there and then pull in or out for those fog lights. And then we have a foot pedal brake, so just press that down, and to release, just pull up here. Power tilt and telescopic steering wheel. And this car has just been impressing me so far because this is a 2007, and it's nuts what's on here. But there's a driver's seat itself, still in pretty good condition. Again, this only has about 70,000 miles. Just a little bit of crack in there. But let's see how the back seat room is. Love having the ashtray in the back. Rear side airbags. Some of this stuff is just unheard of in vehicles even today, so I just find it pretty interesting. But legroom, I did kind of mess the seat up a little bit, but I mean, legroom is pretty good in my opinion. Seat back pockets are on both sides. And then we do have, is that quad zone climate controls? That's nuts. So we have the quad zone automatic climate controls here, so we can adjust climate from the back. And then we have the settings up front there, and I'll show you all that here in a minute. And then storage here, 12 volt there. I just think it's nuts how all this stuff is just still in fantastic shape. And then our middle seat folds down. And then we have a little storage pocket in the middle. And then cup holders right there. And then I hit the release that you can use up there for the headrests. You can just fold those back into place. But I'll show you what that's for here in a minute. Let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. So I had the trunk release from up front there. Plenty of space in the cargo area. 12 volt here. Netted side pocket there. Then we do have the floor mats in the back here. And we can hang bags for groceries, excuse me, if you want to do that. And then storage underneath there as well. And there's a spare and then the battery right there. Big shout out to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro for letting me review this E550 today. I'll leave a link below in the description of this vehicle in particular. But just a beautiful car, I think. Now there we do have those up. I'm assuming this seat does not fold down. Maybe it has something to do with that rear sunshade back there. But we do have our anchors right there. And then I'm assuming it's to get to the tethers maybe while we fold those seats back and forth. I don't know. But that's interesting that the seat doesn't fold down. Guess I assumed it did, and I apologize for that. And then we do have a lockable fuel cap there. Front passenger seat controls pretty similar to the driver's side. Netted storage there. Storage pocket, and then we have a lockable glove compartment here. And I did forget to hit the hood release. I always forget on the Mercedes because they're just hidden in there so well. They pretty much want you to take it to see them anyway. So there's that there. And I wonder where that fuel door release is. But when you pop the hood, this comes out. Pull that and lift. And it's mostly covered up there, but there's that 5.5 liter V8. But now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. It's funny, I'm used to reviewing newer cars and I'll get in older vehicles that'll stump me with just how different things are. I love the steering wheel here though. We have that wood grain and leather combo there. The wood grain looks fantastic. That amazes me that this car is almost 20 years old and looks that good. It's over 15 years old at least. There's the horn. Now over here, we're gonna start with the AC controls because these are above the actual radio screen. So we do have, again, quad zone auto, which what I think is great about this is I can turn the auto mode on here and then I can turn it off over here. And that's just awesome. You don't see that pretty much in any vehicle, let alone an older car like this. But we can adjust the fan speed here, cut that off, turn it back on, adjust temperature again, then we have the rear temp we can control as well. But down here we do have the navigation system, so there's the map, and then you can go in here and actually go through all of that to get a destination pulled up or whatever. So it's a hassle. So they weren't futuristic with this, but it's still a navigation screen is what we were used to back then. Now for the audio, we do get the AM, FM, and satellite. And then the telephone, insert your phone, you can do everything through here. And then we have a few controls down here for the phone as well as the CD player, which is right there. And the volume can be adjusted here. We turn it back on to show. And then we can turn the whole radio off there and then adjust the volume up or down again using that knob. Now down here, we have that rear shade. We can fold those seat rests again, or those headrests, excuse me, hazards. And then it took me all day to find these controls. To unlock and lock the doors is right here. And then we have 3-stage heated cooled front seats, which is just crazy to me in 2007 again. Basically, we're seeing that in these and the Lexus. And then you can go ahead and turn that ESP off for that stability if you need to. 12 volts here, ashtray here, we can stow all of that. And then you can pull this lever down, reverse, neutral, drive, and you can manually shift there. And it'll show you what gear you're in that bottom part where it shows the odometer, that number on the left side, and then that comfort or sport mode on the right side of the odometer, that can be adjusted here. And then we do have our suspension. We can put the Airmatic on to Sport 1, Sport 2, or the comfort mode. And then we can also just raise the suspension as well. Bottle holders are here. And then I believe that was an old USB connector. I don't know if that still works. It's kind of fried, it looks like, or frayed, excuse me. And then our sunroof, pull that sunshade back and we can either slide that one touch forward or back or tilt. It actually tilts up pretty high, which I like. Another look at the back end. And then lights, vanity mirror, Does have a light there. Now back to the steering wheel. If you want to go ahead and toggle your cruise control, you can do that. And then we have our windshield wiper controls. So blinkers are there. And then you can adjust the intermittent. Then you have low, high there, which is a weird thing to do. And then you can push all the way in and get that wiper fluid. And then we can use this to go through the middle part of the gauge cluster. Different settings are available there. Well, actually, this is to go through each sub menu, and you can go through the sub menus themselves by hitting these buttons here, going back and forth. And what I like is you can go in here and then actually adjust your radio station. You can kind of tune and go through your presets there. So I going up or down there. And then volume up or down here, then your phone controls are there. Now within here, I'm gonna go back. I can go here, and then through the settings, you can press the reset button for 3 seconds, and then you can go ahead and adjust those settings there. And then within those, if you wanna go ahead and reset to factory settings, you can do that. So pretty neat. And also you have the clock there that is just now, I believe, reset to the right time by itself. That's pretty interesting. And then the check engine light's on there. I don't know why, but we'll probably figure that out maybe. And then your voice recognition controls are gonna be right here.
Cancel.
And then you have your key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2007 Mercedes-Benz E550 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this E550, I was opening the gas cap the wrong way. So actually that is not lockable, and I'm kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. You can just push on the right side and it pops right open. So that's not lockable. I apologize for that. It does have a gas cap on there, but I thought that was weird. And then in the settings, you can use these arrows to go through if you want to adjust the speed, instrument cluster, all of that. You can change from miles to kilometers in there. But I mean, the ride's pretty good. I like the driving dynamics, of course, with a 5.5 liter V8. It's pretty peppy and it sounds good, even though it's a Mercedes E-Class. Now, I did just double check the price on this because it's in this sticker right here and I wasn't sure about it, but this car is only $8,000, which is that's pretty remarkable in my opinion. Even though it's a Mercedes, I mean, it's like I said, this one is in immaculate shape. It looks fantastic. But all in all, I think where this car you're in a Mercedes, you know, and not just any Mercedes. This is the V8 engine, the 5.5 liter that you get in E-Class. Having heated and cooled seats in this thing, it's just, I'm sure it was a ton of money when it first came out. And again, with just less than 70,000 miles on it, you shouldn't have any big issues, especially if you have a good mechanic. And one thing I love about the 5.5 V8 in the Mercedes is they were always strong engines, but it didn't sound like a Camaro or a Mustang. It was something. It just sounds so elegant, kind of like a Rolls-Royce engine. It's elegant, but quick. Now, it did take a minute for this to kind of find the right gear to put itself in, but once it found it, it was off. It runs so well, so cleanly, just so strong. But a pretty strong engine again. And the ride quality here is very nice, very smooth. Again, I think of elegant when I'm driving this. One other thing I really enjoy about this car is, I mean, going back to the engine, every time I come from a stop and I put my foot halfway to the floor to kind of get it to go, it just gives a nice rumble. And again, for an $8,000 vehicle, you can't really get that anywhere else for this kind of money. And the manual shift, I'll test that out now to kind of show you all. Might be while the check engine light's on. The transmission's doing some funny stuff, but it could very easily be some sort of sensor or whatever, but just manually shifting is very, very fun. So downshifts, it's quick to get to that gear. Shifts up pretty quickly as well. And it might have something to do with being in sport mode as well. So I'm gonna put it back into comfort for the last little bit here. And if you wanna take it out of the manual mode, just hold it to that plus side while you're in drive. And you don't have to necessarily put it back in a neutral and put it in drive to get it to drive normally again. Now I wanna give one last big thank you to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this car today. They have a pretty interesting selection. And every so often, I mean, pretty often, but every so often they'll get something like this where you're like, wow, you know, let me go ahead and drive that. I'm just intrigued. Kind of like an older classic or an older luxury vehicle that you probably forgot about, or like at this time, I wasn't even able to drive in 2007. So just being behind the wheel of one of these, it's nostalgia, because I used to love cars growing up. And this was around, I guess I would have been 13, 14. And I just knew I was gonna drive in 2-3 years. I couldn't wait, and just looking at cars like these would just put a smile on my face. So it's nice to actually be behind the wheel of one of these and actually be pretty close to owning this. You know, this might have been, I don't even know, 70, 80 grand, maybe 60, I don't know. But to get one now for 8,000, especially if you're in that kind of same age range as me and you've always wanted to have one of these, you can get one pretty cheaply. But a fun car, a luxurious car, and I wish I could get one. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2007 Mercedes-Benz E550.